Okay, so I'm going to do a very basic video on slope and try and hit some of the highlights of what you're expected to get out of slope. Okay, so slope is something we measure. We measure the rise over the run. Okay, so slope is usually introduced as rise over run. And rise over run is very useful when you're doing something like a staircase. Okay, so what's the slope of the staircase, or what's the slope of the ramp? How much does it rise versus its run? And then we'd like to have what's called a difference quotient, where we have x1, y1 as an ordered pair, and x2, y2 as an ordered pair. And I could invert these, doesn't matter which is x1, y1, which is x2, y2. And that slope, which we designate with letter M, because Rene Descartes, who was a mathematician, used the word monter, which means to climb in French, probably in Latin too, I'm not sure about that. Okay, so he used the letter M. And these days we prefer a difference quotient, which is delta y over delta x, and the triangle is the Greek letter delta, which comes from a river delta, which just means change in, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's the mathematical part. Now let's look at some ways you could calculate slope. Well, one way I could calculate slope is I have this line here. I can pick any 2 points. I'll pick these two. And I measure the rise over the run. Well, it goes up 2, so its rise is 2 and its run is 1. So I could say the slope, or change in y over change in x, is 2 over 1 or 2. What if I had picked two different points? Well, I could have picked, say, this point here and this point here. So you can see that green. Its rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1, 2, 3. So again, if I had done a rise of 6 over a run of 3, I would still get 2. So my slope is 2, or my rise and run is 2. Let's see. I could pick this point here, and looks like this point here, and I have to be careful to pick points where I get crossing. The rise is 2, but actually goes down 2, and the run is 3, so negative 2 over 3. I think my rise over run, or my change in y over change in x, is negative 2 over 3. What if I tried two different points? Like, let's say I tried this point here and this point here. Well, it's negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So negative 4 over 6, which is still negative 2 over 3. So that's one way to do rise over run, okay? Or slope. Okay, let's look at some more. Okay, another way is considering the difference quotient, delta y over delta x, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And yes, before anyone asks, you can have it be y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. But what you have to do is keep the y2s and x2s together and the y1s and x1s together. Okay, so I'm going to label them x1, y1, x2, y2. It goes x, y, z, right? So my difference quotient, it's called a difference quotient because you have differences subtracting and quotients you're dividing. So I have negative 6 minus 3 over 2 minus negative 4. So I have negative 9 over 6, which is negative 3 over 2. Then I recommend really labeling these until you get really good at it. So I have negative 2 minus 3 over negative 4 minus negative 4. So I have negative 5 over 0, which is undefined. And by the way, you can't be equal to undefined, you just are undefined. Okay? x1, y1, x2, y2, and change in y over change in x, which I really recommend writing because it makes you remember the y over x. So we get 5 minus 5 over 4 minus negative 3. So we get 0 over 7, which is just 0. And if you're not sure about the 0 division part, you can always check in a calculator. x1, y1, x2, y2. So I get 10 minus 6 over 9 minus negative 3, which is 4 over 12, which is 1 over 3. So I'm going to fix that.